Solana just had another outage, but what does that mean for Solana's price? I've gone back into the charts and looked at every single time Solana has gone down and see what the price did in the following weeks. So now we can see, is Solana about to pump or dump? Time to discover crypto. All right, well, if you want to see if Solana is on or off, you can check out Solana status at on x.com here. And then about 8 hours ago, so this was just hours ago, engineers are investigating an outage on the mainnet beta. This thread will be updated. Well, they updated it about 4 or 5 hours later, and block production had resumed later on that day. So Solana is no longer out. But like I said, I went deep into the charts, and I decided to investigate every single time that Solana had gone down and then see what the price action had did later on. And so I went back months. In fact, I even went back years and checked all of these outages. And let's just pour right into the charts and let's track what Solana has done in the past. Well, the first outage you can see here is way back in December 2020. That is right, December 4th, 2020. Solana mainnet beta clusters stopped producing blocks. And if December 2020 sounds familiar, well, that was the XRP news. So XRP lawsuit was filed by the SEC in that month. So kind of overtook the narrative for December 2020. And then we also had Tesla and Bitcoin. But then you can see, pretty much shortly later that same day, 1:31 on December 4th. And then later on, the network is live again and functioning. Let's see what happened to the prices. Now, we're going to check out every single one of these dips here, and then we're going to find the average. And I'm doing the math, and we're going to use that as a predictor for the current downtime that we're seeing right now. So you're going to see a little bit of a pattern starting to emerge. This is right here. You can see it's December 4th, right on this candle. And then after the outage, we saw a week of declines, and it fell about 25%. But if you go back about another additional week or two, you can see it fell even further. And folks, this is going to be a theme here. All right, so after that outage, it fell 24%. Well, let's keep going and check the other downtimes and go forward in history here. And then the next outage we saw September 14th, 2021. So then we go into the charts again, and we're looking in September. This was another decline, pretty similar decline, but now we're shrinking the decline. This one fell about 23%. And I put the start of the decline at the body of the previous candle. I could have gone to the top of the candle and make these numbers look more alarming, but I'm not here to shock you. I'm just trying to give you the most accurate data. So after that drop, we saw a 23% decline. Well, then it happened again. And then it happened a few months later, January 4th. And now we're in 2022. Woo Blockchain was tweeting about this one. Well, let's go to January 4th here. And then you can see Tuesday, January 4th, it fell again. This time it fell 21%. So again, we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern, but we're starting to see the decline diminish. I remember transacting with Solana at this time. At this point, I'm minting NFTs. We started becoming used to it. We became numb to the downtime. And then so the markets just had less of a reaction each and every time. And then we saw a little bit of a pullback. And then the following weeks, we saw a even bigger dump. So we saw the bigger dump afterwards here. But this time we saw a little fake out rally. And then it actually, created some bullish price action. So expect a dump, little rally, and then, maybe another dump, maybe a fake out dump. Well, let's keep going in the Solana downtime. And if we keep going back into the Solana downtime and just check everything, you see, okay, we got another one in May, the end of April, the beginning of May. Well, May, I show you what happened with the price action then. Now, this one, you can see here, April 30th, block production has halted, validator operation, prepare for a restart in the Discord. So get in the Discord, validators. Well, yet again, we saw another decline, but look how it continued to fall. For the first time, we didn't get a little fake out pump followed by another dump. So if you actually go forward, you'll see it even fell harder. And then we got even more declines. We had another outage right there. You saw another decline, fake little pump, and then followed by a larger decline. Well, let's keep going forward. Now we're all the way in the beginning of June. And so you can see this is the validator outage right there. Well, what happened in June of 22? Again, are you starting to see a little trend here? We had another decline, and then we had another decline. Now, this one, it was shrinking. And folks, I did the math. I did the math so you don't have to. DZ did a little back of the napkin math here. Pulled up a little spreadsheet here. And I have the date of the downtimes. And then we're going to look at the price pre-outage. So let's just go back and we'll look at the first one. $2. Woo! $2 Solana. Can you imagine? So we had a $2 Solana. ended up falling to $1.43. We saw a 24% decline, 23% decline, 20% decline, 16, 10, and then a 2% in September. Let me show you something in September. This is the September decline right here, and you can see, well, folks, we were coming off a very, very bearish period in the markets, and Solana had already taken quite a bit of tumble. This was the all-time high at near $260, and we had already fallen 90%, 86% at this point. So expecting another major decline, you know, at a certain point, selling kicks exhausted. But then we had a little bit of a collapse in the marketplace here of FTX, and then we saw the FTX dump. So, you know, I'm not saying there's any kind of artificial pumping happening here or anything that maybe try to keep it afloat. Wink, wink, you know, but maybe that might explain why we only saw a 2.7% decline. But then again, you extrapolate to 12 days, 16% decline. You go to May, 12 days, 60% decline. So we did the average, and of all the declines you hear, on average, Solana falls 16% after its outage is reported, and we just had a $97.40 Solana. And I went down to the 15-minute candles here. So we had a $97 Solana, 16% decline. That's going to give us an $81 Solana. And there's something very interesting I found about the $80 level here. If we go back to the charts, you'll see that Solana just loves this $80 range here. This, you know, I have it right at the $81 range, and look at it, just using it perfectly as resistance, perfectly as support. You also see a little bit of action here, and then we go back to around this $81 level, and you can see once again just very, very strong horizontal support here. So I would not be surprised to see Solana decline to around $81. But then again, you know, this is Solana. We are in a bullish period, so don't expect, just by me making this video, I make it less likely for it to go to 81, because now you're going to have buyers at 82. So, you know, just maybe use history as a guide here. I know I'm going to use history, and if we touch this low $80 range, I'm going to be deploying some of these Solana alts, maybe take some profit and roll it back into Solana. So that's my take here. I hope this really helps you navigate the ecosystem of Solana. You know, is it going to pump? Is it going to dump? You know, the chain is down. Should I just sell my entire bag? You know, we're starting to see, you know, a little bit of a pattern emerge, but the declines are shrinking, and I wouldn't be surprised if the shrink continues. But if it does go to $81, I know I'm going to load up my Solana bag. So that's all we got. I'm DZ. We'll see you at the top.